Not okay. You're gonna hit the trash can, Daddy. Watch your booty. You gonna hit the trash can? Okay, there you go.
Oh, my fault.
Is that crinkle? There's something in your pocket. I thought it was your knee, bro.
Yeah,
I thought it was your knee. I was like, oh my god. No. Also, you should practice the gorilla. Like the gorilla one is like when you angle your feet really far out, and then you put your hands down and you want to walk forward. No, seriously, it strengthens your like the top of your ass. Like you know how everything targets like don't stop looking.
Yeah, I was
like
just
the bottom
gonna-
of your cakes.
Yeah.
But like if you want to get up here, like you gotta do the gorilla walk, or if you like can put all of your I can't put all my weight on my necklace, but if you can like and you scoot across, it works the top of your back, which activates your delts and your what's this one? What's this one? Like right above your so delts no, lats are up here. Delts are on this.
all the way down.
Do they?
Yeah. I see like those.
Have you seen those videos of
Graphs
people
of
like
machines, how like what it works.
You ever see which graphs are which gender? You ever notice that?
No.
So all the like booty focus or like kind of I don't want to say easier machines because it's all weight will be chicks. And then you go to like the bench, you go to the squat rack, you go to anything else. It's like a big old dude. Watch next
I
time.
think all of them. I think mine's one girl. Wait, you go to the same gym?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I was gonna say like all of the ones that like the hip abductor machine, you know, like the vagina show basically.
Yeah.
Also, I love that they planned that right in front of the basketball court because you know,
Yeah.
you know, people are watching. Like it's
Oh,
so
yeah,
awkward.
there is.
What?
we saw the most redneck thing at like when we were driving home.
Redneck. My peoples.
People with the balls on one of the trucks.
Oh my god, and they're blue? Are they blue?
Oh no, that was just dirty. They're always supposed to be black.
They're supposed to be black. All good, person? Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Hi, Wally. Then you should just come to the gym with me and Gabby. Yeah. That's what you should.
I don't want to do that. I got a horn.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Alright, it's not like
Okay. My bad.
it's not like obviously it'd be better if I went to the
You can't pay $20. Don't you got money coming out your ass? So what happened? Huh? You have a private pool and all that jazz. Your private trainer come back to you. I swear, I kind of hurt myself when I really was. I'm gonna stretch that back out. I swear. It's like my inner thighs. Oh, I told you I pushed that sled today. It's heavy, bitch. Did you ever figure out how much that weight is? 55 plus 55 plus 55 plus 35.
455?
455? No. 355s, 235s, and a 25. Plus the sled. How much is the sled? Like 80 pounds?
That's not even. It's like,
No? 40 pounds?
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
I saw some guy, he was freaking incline benching 4 plates on both sides. 4 reps.
Thanks, honey.
Actual reps. He was like,
For reps?
grunting loud as hell. He was like,
Oh my god, I
oh
can't.
hell no, that's some
With my poor little friend. This is all we could put on my squat bar at the time. Look at my poor little friend.
Okay.
It's like
Paris, you have one. Out for the count. Sorry, homie.
It's Friday and then we leave.
It's already 7:54. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Why?
What?
Are you sure? We didn't even try. You just be abandoning me like that. Where is my rubber band?
Remember coach called them late, but she told them that they were horrible.
They're mostly for my mental health in case I need to kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Color instead. Bye, Chris. Bye, Ruben.
They're great season in the case.
Whatever you say.
Did someone just send you that?
When do you get your license, Landon? You found the rubber band ball. It was right here. Oh.
She said to me the 22
Is that a rock?
I get my tongue, it looks like chocolate.
I started when I was 14 and 9 months. That's what happened. I don't know Arizona.
So you have to be, you have to 15 and 16.
Oh, so I
came right back up, like, oh, right in my jaw. But I held on to the ball. She was still out. Sucker. Anyway, it was a rough day. Yeah, they had to wire it shut for like 2 weeks. I could only eat Jello or mashed potatoes. And the mashed potatoes, when you ate them, like
Your teeth are like this. You literally have to suck the mashed potatoes through your teeth.
it was awful. I think my parents, honestly, they were kind of excited because I was just silent for 2 weeks.
Hey! Hey, I need help!
I got really good at like yelling through teeth. I also had a bell, but they would just ignore me after like a couple times. They'd be like, ding, 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 ding. I was like a maraca shaking. Like, I need help. Yeah. That, and they had a special straw, right? The straw was a bendy straw that you had to like, there's like a little piece right here. So the straw would go in between your teeth, and that's like how you survived. I lost so much weight. It was great. It was like a great diet for like 2 weeks. You know, afterwards, as soon as I could eat again. All right. Anyways, how you guys doing? You doing all right? 17 days left.
Yeah.
Exciting. Yes. AP test today.
Is there?
No. Tomorrow. Oh, okay. Good luck. All right. Well, I know some of you guys are stressed out about it. Remember that you are so much more than a score on a test. All right. Nobody can define you based on a number, or based on your gender, or your ability to reproduce, or your thoughts on reproduction. Anybody seen the current news?
Oh,
lately?
yeah.
God, it makes me so mad.
What's up with news? Not gonna happen.
Mexico is doing better.
Yeah, they
Too close to
I'm putting out a
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
You know?
Wow.
It's only a few hours away.
You know, I feel like Mexico has a couple things that are, significantly better, but I think that they get a bad rap a lot of times because of the stereotypes that are placed on them. I think that's what we're going to be kind of addressing today as well. We're going to be talking about two sort of issues that are controversial, to say the least. So keep in mind, like when we talk today, obviously your opinions are valued, and obviously everybody has their own. Right? So keep in mind, if you don't agree with somebody, we are going to respectfully disagree. All right? It's okay if you say, actually, I disagree with blah 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 because, but saying, this person is stupid and that's wrong and I can't believe it and my book says this. Well, guess what? Your book isn't part of my book club. So if that's on you, that's fine. Okay? But we're going to talk about opinions on that today. We're also going to be talking about microaggressions. Unfortunately, sometimes they happen even in the classroom. So I've got a video for that, and I definitely learned a lot. Hopefully you as well. And then today, like I said, the prompt is adults should know. Am I missing any sticky notes? Alright, let's start off today. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. Become a teacher, right? Do you know how many classes I actually took about teaching?
honest.
3. I took an Educating for All, which was basically people with disabilities or learning deficiencies and things that I need to accommodate for or I need to differentiate for. The second education class that I took was for secondary ed, and it basically taught you sort of safety measures of how to keep yourself safe as a teacher against bigger men or boys. And the entire class was females. The last education class I took was student teaching, where they did not pay you and they forced you to work for 8 hours a day as a teacher without getting any compensation whatsoever. Your compensation was experience. So out of approximately 47 credits that I have, I had changed my major a couple times, so you don't need that many credits to graduate college. So out of the 47 credits that I have, 9 of them were actually for teaching. Do you think that's enough?
No.
Do you think anybody taught me how to help you in a crisis when you come to me with stuff outside of school? How about when to deal with parents or admin, or how to deal with people? How to have discussions that are really hard about possibly insulting a child or saying that maybe this needs to change or maybe this needs to be tested. Has anybody ever thought about that? Do you know some of your teachers, I love them, Wally love them. Do you know some of your teachers are not certified as a teacher? They just have a bachelor's degree in whatever they want. Again, let's not say names because I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm sure everybody's very qualified to do their job. However,
please understand that there is no reference manual. There is no guidebook. There is no, hey, this is how you talk to students. We are literally experimenting every single day. And some of those teachers that are brand new teachers or first time teachers maybe didn't even have student teaching because COVID took it away. So please keep in mind that while we are educators, we do not know everything, all right? And I really wish that more teachers would talk about serious topics, but I feel like a lot of them are scared for their job. You have to understand, in the state of Arizona, we can be fired at any time for any reason. They don't even have to provide a reason. It's a right to work state. Meaning that if they don't like a lesson, they could be like, Harris, leave. I mean, hopefully not. But you know, I push it a lot. We'll see. Do you guys like the egg? I had a parent email me, be like, I want to watch this video. My daughter said it was really good. That scares me instantly. But do you guys talk to your parents about what happened in that?
No.
I watched the egg years ago and I sent it to them because I thought it was interesting.
Got you.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was a little bit nervous. I really hope she's not like, why are you telling my daughter she's gonna give me a garden? I don't know. We'll see. All right. Adults should know how to do what's right.
I don't think anyone knows how to do that.
I've learned that adults are just basic, you know.
We're wounded children that have driver's licenses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just older
And taxes.
You ever think about how we have an honor system and we are driving 2,000-pound machines that are literally like murder machines? You ever think that?
Yeah.
And we're just like, here's your driver's license. Did you pass that piece of paper test that you cheated off of? Okay, awesome. Here you go. Good luck. Don't kill anybody. But that's scary to me. What?
I just think it's so weird that we don't have more classes for like everyday life.
They don't want you to learn how to live.
Of course they don't.
They want you to learn how to sit, how to take directions, how to complete tasks
I'm like,
for a reward. You know what your reward is? Not even a dollar system. It's a grade.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We're teaching you how to work for nothing. It is a capitalistic society that we are shoving down your throat.
literally, I was trying to ask my
Lovely.
mom to explain to me how to file my W-2. Cause like it was the first time I'd gotten one. She was like, I don't even know how to do that.
No, they don't teach us certain things. I'm gonna teach taxes and economics, but they don't teach us certain things on purpose.
I
And
was
even
gonna say,
then,
like, how do I know how to file taxes?
no,
at
they're
all?
like
I have
HR.
the same problem.
So every country that is developed, I want to say developed, okay, like a first world country, every country that is developed does not have a tax system like we do. They tell them, hey, this is how much you owe, this is how much you paid in, and we're not going to give you a refund because all of your taxes were actually used. So they actually distribute your money evenly so you won't pay in extra. The government right now is, I go on the very highest bracket you can take out. As much as my check you want to take it now, because I don't want to have to pay in, right? But unfortunately, what they're doing is they're taking an excessive amount of my money, holding on to it, and using it for other things. And then later when I say, hey, I want that money back, then they distribute the refund, right? So if you have children, a lot of times that's another refund. So the government is like incentivizing, trying to get you to provide more and more kids. Even Biden right now had a new proposal to pay women $1,000 per month for every child that they have, trying to increase our population. Why? Because he needs more workers. Why do you think they're banning it right now? Why do you think they're trying to overturn this? They are perpetuating the cycle of poverty.
Oh.
You know,
Lovely.
do you know that the people that want an abortion, though, I'm sorry, I know I'm trying to avoid this and I don't want to bring up because I don't want you to offend you, but the people that want an abortion that are rich enough will always have access to one.
Yeah.
And they've had access to one in a healthy way for 200 years. But the Supreme Court is overturning this decision because they say that there is no implicit way that men in 1776 thought that women should have this right. And if it's not implicitly implied in the Constitution, we don't have that right. Does anybody remember the 9th Amendment, though? See, the 9th Amendment is the most important to me. A lot of people think it's the 5th Amendment. Shut up, right? That's great. But the 9th Amendment is the elasticity clause. It tells you that anything that is not explicitly written in the Constitution is still your private matter. You can still have the right to privacy. So just because they say, or just because in the Constitution it doesn't say that the government can read through your emails, doesn't make it right. You have this exclusivity, or you have this elasticity, basically stretching ability to be private. And they're making that illegal. And they tried their first woman and put her in jail for having a legal, or in this case, a illegal abortion for crossing state lines. She's in Oklahoma right now. She's imprisoned for making a medical choice. If you don't think that this is the beginning of a Handmaid's Tale, maybe you should watch it.
I don't want to talk. That's terrifying to me. As soon as Trump got elected, my dad sat me down and he was like, "Look, you know that show that we all watch as a family? We can't watch it anymore because it's giving me nightmares because it's what's happening." And I was like, "Lovely, lovely."
I don't mean to get so bitey. I'm sorry. As a woman that does not want to reproduce, it is scary to me because it is seeming as if they are attempting to push marriage and children as a capitalistic venture, because if you keep reproducing, they keep having workers. And if you keep reproducing, you have less income. It's a fact. You have to spend money on that kid, and if you don't, that's neglect. So they are making sure on purpose. And like I said, the wealthy people that need that or want that option will always have it. There will always be corrupt doctors that will be performing this outside of this if they have enough cash. So if it was a concern then, right, almost 40 years ago, it scares me to think that we are still fighting for this and they're just gonna overturn it for half the population, more than half the population. Women are 51% of the United States population.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it makes me so mad that they're trying to overturn something that the majority of America doesn't want. Like, just because the Supreme Court has majority rule doesn't mean that the majority of that, like, Americans want that.
But you know what's sad and scary? The people that vote in each state will then determine whether it'll be illegal or legal. Who votes? What demographic votes? Young people?
Older, like,
Sorry, I got off on a tangent. Let's go back to this. I wish adults knew that if I didn't ask, then don't talk. I like that one, it's spicy. I don't know, quick to anger or quick to be upset about even a mistake like spilling a glass of water or something like that. I mean, it's easily sort of cleaned up. It's maybe the crystal was super important to you. I don't know. Maybe the glass broke, whatever. Maybe somebody got hurt. But a lot of times it can be kind of difficult to have that amount of emotion or that amount of rage and then come back down. I totally get you on that.
having to be a financially stable 17-year-old.
Yes.
Wow.
Why do I have to provide for all my financial expenses just because I have a job?
So instead of you feel like you're being punished instead of rewarded for your hard work?
Well, I just mean like it's an expectation that they have. They're like, oh, you have a job now, so you can like provide for yourself.
I'm sorry, that doesn't get easier as you age. I'm sorry. I wish.
It's like I'm starting real early,
Yeah.
and I'm like just trying to.
Dorian, what's an expectation that you don't like from adults?
Well, I'm gonna say the same as like Matea. I have to be financially independent, and that's because I got a job because I'm stupid. And then I've got to stay on top of all of my classes, and I've got to stay on top of my mental health, which is not always that easy. And my entire life it's always been, what's your number one priority? School. What's your number one priority? School. What's your number one priority? School. It's not. It is my last priority. It is the least important thing in my life right now. I'm here because I need to be here. I'm going to get the A's, and then I'm going to move on. And it's, what's your number one priority? School. No, it's not. I've got more important things going on. My mental health comes far before school.
Do you think that they will change that expectation when you go to college, or will it remain the same for the next 4 years?
So they've offered to pay for a part of my college as long as I maintain straightness. So what's your number one priority?
School.
There we go.
Got it. All right. That's a good one. Are you still thinking about culinary school or going to college?
I'm not thinking culinary so much anymore
Gotcha.
just because of the money.
Got you. I feel you. All right. Did you need something?
Just real quick,
Yeah.
just from my experiences in F9, your room feeds correctly into mine, and they're taking AP Lit
What time does that start?
It's now until like the end of third hour.
Okay, I will keep, no, that's fine, no worries.
Harassment at its finest. Like, Ureli showed up on her first day, and he goes, "You have a boyfriend?" And I immediately stepped up and I was like, "Yeah, no, it's me." And then I brought it up to my managers, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll talk to him." And they talked to him, and then they didn't fire him. He had to quit. He was like, "I don't want to work with kids anyways," and then he walked out. Like, they still didn't fire him.
Legally, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, no. But he just,
That's
it's-
really gross.
it's a terrible environment.
And if that's happening, no offense, your job is very valuable, right? But that's happening in a restaurant, like
Yeah.
somewhat fast food, but healthier, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's happening there, what do you think's happening in like even bigger situation, corporate, right? Like
Right, exactly.
ones that you can't really bring it to anybody's attention because it's a whole boys club, you know, or your HR is not receptive or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
I'm not diminishing your experience. That's terrible and
Yeah.
disgusting. I just think that it's even scarier to not know what's happening behind those bigger quote unquote doors. You know?
Yeah.
I think it also happens in schools. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
100%.
Like
Not
I have an
in
experience
schools.
as being a teacher. A lot of people are surprised that I'm a female and a history teacher. That's kind of uncommon, at least in high school. But coaching, I've definitely noticed that. My team has noticed that. My boys have definitely noticed that. Boys volleyball have noticed it more than girls because girls are kind of used to being treated like or underestimated.
Yeah.
But like it was funny, we were at the tournament and one of the refs came up and they were like, "Do you even have a coach?" And I'm like sitting there with MHP volleyball on my shirt with a clipboard, writing down the stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where's your coach?" "Oh, you don't have one?" And like Gabe Gordon was like, "No, she just has tits." I love him for that, but you know, like it made me feel good because I was like, oh, okay, so he recognizes this guy was trying to be rude, you know, like.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I probably shouldn't have yelled that to F9. Great thing for your AP exam. Matea, thank you for your patience, baby.
I was gonna say, I just feel like people put, like, it's like you said, they're just like breeding and training like workers. So people put like so much pressure on minors specifically. And also because I feel like they think we're a lot easier to like push around. Because it's like, oh, you're a kid, just tell them what to do, they'll do it.
Yep.
And I understand we're understaffed, but like they're trying to make me a lead. And I'm like,
That's another thing. I'm being
I'm
a shift lead next year.
17.
I've got 3 college classes next year.
Right, like, cool, whatever, promotion, extra money, but I'm 17.
It's also a lot of extra
I
responsibility.
can't be a lead at a sushi place. Like, no. I'm gonna, no.
Thank you for speaking out on this. I think that this was definitely a good prompt. I think it talked about a couple different sort of issues. How do we kind of avoid becoming like that in the future? How do you avoid becoming a Karen or a Carl or whatever you want to call it? Empathy? Oh, that's a shocker.
It's not that hard.
Basic
New
human
thing for
respect.
boomers. It's not that hard.
Like you once worked at like, you know, maybe like some diner in the 60s, but you know, come on. Like,
Fair enough.
you were in the same shoes.
Josh Day, then you Wally.
What I like to do, what I like to think about, like, what I think the issue is, and where I learned that was a problem. Like, when I go to a grocery store, you know, sometimes my parents will get back to the car with their groceries in the car, and they look in the bag, and they're like, what the hell, they put the meat with the fruit, like raw meat with fruit, obviously you aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I know that's wrong, because my parents told me, don't do that, and whenever I bag for them, they're like, don't put, you know, raw meat with fruit, don't mix this stuff and everything. So, I'm not gonna be mad at somebody else, because they didn't have my parents to teach them that. I don't know if somebody taught them that or not. So I think about why I know that what is happening is a problem, and if that's a universal experience to know that it's an issue.
That is so mature, sir. Snaps for you. Alright. Yoali. I think certain people are born with this kind of almost like innate privilege. It has nothing to do with their gender, their race, nothing, right? But if they have this idea that they are better than other people, and I think that can go across lots of different forms, then they think that their people don't deserve the same amount of respect or something. You know what I mean? Like they're almost.
what you're saying, like, so so like my aunt and Karen, and we went to this festival, and like the food lines were really long, and then so we ended up just like walking across the street and getting like Papa John's, but like so we were ordering, and she was like being so rude to the lady who was like checking us out. And like, so we were waiting for her pizza, and she was complaining. She was like, she took so long. You're just tapping pictures on a screen, and I'm like, this bitch is working minimum wage. Like, why are you so fucking upset right now? And then she was like, yeah, I want a water, but I don't want to deal with her again. And I was like, I'll get you a fucking water. And like, I apologized to her, and she was like, it's okay. And I was like, it's really not okay though, because I was like, and then I confronted her. I was like, you're so impatient. Like, what is your issue? And she's like, you know, well, I worked in service, so I'm like, that doesn't give you the right to be rude. Like, if anything, that should be like your cue to like make you more understanding.
Right, more empathetic.
Like, yeah, she was just being so rude about it. She was just like, I can't even wait in here. It was like, yeah, I hate people like that, and like, the reason, like, they have no reason. They're like, oh, well, I worked in service, and like, that. It's no excuse. Like, you're still being a bitch about it.
I think people that do that a lot of times are super unhappy with themselves. No offense to you.
Yeah, my dad's
No,
Karen.
she is.
Like nothing I've ever seen. Like call the place back after they didn't put a sauce in there and scream at them for 20 minutes and then order a refund and then show up and expect to get this crap.
That's when you get spit in your food.
Yeah, no, I know.
Y'all ever seen, what was it called? Waiting, I think?
Are you still open? And I'll go close at 9. And they'll go, oh, okay, so I'm good. And then they'll proceed to order like 3 things.
Yeah, and that gets
I'm
me.
like,
That gets me with my coworkers too, because when I worked front of house, because I didn't used to work back of house, I only worked front. I would do the basic respect of if it's 5 minutes before we close and someone walks in and they want food, I go back there, I pretend to check the burner, and I say, sorry, the burner's already off and cleans.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't have anything. We can make you anything up front. Like we have the juices, we have the shakes, we have the acai bowls. You can have whatever you want from up here. But I'm afraid everything back of house is closed.
Yep.
And people don't do that for me. Like I'm sitting back there and I'm working the entire night and I'm working like what, a $3,000 hour right before close. And then we're finally getting there and I'm trying to get closed. And then somebody will walk in and they'll take the order and they'll send it to the back. And I'm just like, next time don't do that. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You should be.
Yeah.
You should be.
Exactly.
and it's like, you can do certain things like before close. And so like people will come in and see you like cleaning things and taking things out and like starting to put things away. And they're like, oh, can I just like order something anyways? Like it's like, I know you see me. I know you see me with all the sauce bottles all wiped and clean and put away. I know you see, like, like I don't care how hungry you are, go somewhere else. Or come here earlier. Like our hours are on Google.
Yep. Cinco de Cuatro. Okay. It is Cinco de Cuatro. Sorry that I couldn't read the second part.
Yeah.
Maybe subconsciously she is projecting.
Do everything ourselves and we don't need the comfort of anyone else. Because she wasn't the oldest, but she was the middle child. And she had one older brother and one younger brother. So she was like the only woman. And so she kind of just like did everything herself. And there wasn't really any sympathy other than like her mom. But I have another one I wish I would have wrote on a post-it note. Like,
say it, why not?
Adults should know that kids learn from like watching and examples rather than just verbal telling you right and wrong. Because if my parents say like you can't do this and you do that, and then they proceed to live their whole life doing that thing, the child is going to learn like lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't just tell them one thing and then do another thing and expect them to like not. Like I feel like that's, I don't know, I feel like that's so dumb because they're always like, to do this and do that and do this, but then they lead their lives.
I think you hit the nail on this head. Adults should know that their behavior affects their children.
Literally.
Dorian.
I've got another one that I didn't write.
Go for it.
Adults should know that their child is not their partner. I'll take a moment to talk about emotional incest because
Can you explain that? Does that mean that like they
It's
complain about their
insane.
life to you?
Yes.
Emotional incest?
I was the one when my parents were getting split up. My dad would make me sleep in his room so I could hold him while he cried. I was like 7 years old, 8 years old.
That sounds like an emotional support animal.
I am his emotional
It's
support
like-
animal,
it's
and
like-
whenever he doesn't need me,
I
he
don't
doesn't
mean to
talk.
say that you're an animal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
You know, that's my best reference.
Yeah, no. Whenever he doesn't need me, he doesn't talk to me, he gets angry at me, he uses me as his punching bag, but when he needs me, because something's going wrong with his relationship, he's crying in my arms again.
It's like taking a child and dragging them up with you.
I've referred to my dad as my crazy ex-girlfriend since I was 10.
I'm not judging, I'm just trying to think of how I should respond. It's
It
hard
happens-
for me not to hate your parents sometimes.
It happens
I hate
a
my parents
lot.
sometimes.
Like in general, it happens a lot with mothers and their sons. Because yeah, like they don't like their husband, so they turn to their child. And
Oh my god, I gotta
for-
call my sister.
For,
Oh,
for comfort.
you are speaking facts.
Yeah, for comfort and love.
She takes him out on dates.
Yeah, that's
She calls it a date.
No.
She
That's
goes, mommy, daddy,
immediately
or
no.
like mommy son dates. Like
No.
she goes out and
No.
they go to like.
And then when they're
she even dresses them up like with bow ties and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And then it's like it's very much, oh, he's a mommy's boy. He loves me. Like, no. Your son is not your boyfriend. Like, stop. And then like, when their sons grow up to be like older, and then they get their girlfriends, and they're like, my son's leaving me. My baby's leaving me.
That
So,
whole
like,
she's not good
for
enough thing
other
is
women,
so annoying.
like I wish he would find somebody good to treat him right, like I will, like I did, and it's so gross. Like that is emotional incest.
Do you think wives are kind of mothering? Well, this could go gender-wise. Do you think spouses are parenting their spouse?
Yeah.
To sort of
I think there's always going to be someone who's parenting the other.
I
I
think
think it shouldn't
that's
be that way,
needed
but
too
I
sometimes.
think the
Fair,
majority
to
of the time
balance
that's how it
everything.
ends.
Sorry, Nick.
I didn't notice how my childhood went until they said it. Because my mom was single for 12 years. So it was only me and her. I was an only child, so she and I would go to a lot of things. And she called me the mama's boy because I was her only son. And then when my stepfather came around that when I was 12 years old mark, everything changed. And I feel like, because we basically moved in with him, and I feel like the parenting part, my stepdad parented her a little bit into the more adult person she is now, I guess.
And it's been 3 years?
4-ish years?
You have
Wait,
a
5
younger
years.
sibling now, right?
I have 2.
Does she do like mommy dad days?
No, she has no time anymore. Because they're babies. They're like itty bitty kids. Although she
I had a
does
wake up call when y'all just said that. I'm gonna call my sister. I'm gonna be
I was gonna
"Stop
say
doing
that's
that."
another.
There's always someone in the
That's
family.
another reason why boys never fucking grow up to be functional humans in society, because their parents have been, their moms most of the time have been.
Josh and Joseph both are like,
Guilty.
both your eyebrows at the exact same time. Oh,
Because have been cradling them and babying them their entire life.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you both out, but it was so funny. It was almost like it was timed and cute because when she was talking, I was looking at both of you and I'm so sorry.
I
I'm so
don't
sorry.
talk to my mom anymore because I'm like at school at 6 a.m. and I'm home at like 7 o'clock. I don't talk to my mom anymore. What am I doing?
Remember, he doesn't even eat with her, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the grave knowing that about you. I hope I'm invited to your wedding one day, and we'll be like, listen, honey, he doesn't want to eat with you. Okay, not personal. Angel, thank you for being patient. What's up, girl?
With boys growing up to be so dependent on people. I call my mom out a lot when she does that with my brother. Like, she always sends me, like, throw out the trash. All the way in the front, and, like, they can steal me. But, like, with him, like, no, but it's okay, like, I'll do it. Like,
So much shit. You have no idea what I've been through. I have serious issues. You have no idea. And it's like,
Work on it.
how is that my
Sorry, not a licensed therapist.
You're a licensed therapist.
No, it's sorry, I'm not a licensed therapist. Can't help you there, pal.
I think that the idea of going to get help for people that are older than millennials is still very stigma, though. Like very negative. You know, like there's something quote unquote wrong with you or something. You know, and then they don't want to tell you about it. They're shocked when people admit, like, oh, in therapy, my therapist, da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're like, wait, what? Like, oh, your sticky sock situation. You know, not sticky socks. Rubber socks. Grippy socks. Thank you, grippy socks. All right.
Grippy socks for grippers?
Yes. I love that you knew that. Thank you. I said sticky. Hey, that was weird. Anyways, Angel.
Yeah, it was a little odd.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, that was the other way. Not the outside of the sock, not the inside.
No! Why did it take everybody else that long?
Look at me, I got a sticky whipping.
You said sticky sock, and I was like, yes.
What is the contents of the sock?
We just got Josh to turn red. I love it. All right.
Josh, would you say like
So
that?
my mom recently started therapy, and like she has this